Anyway, Tom, I believe it is your week.
It's me to introduce, I believe. Me.
Oh shit, here come that boy. Introducing
Tom,
the podcast.
Get your unicycle out, Tom.
What is uni? Oh.
How do you know I'm not already on a unicycle?
I don't see a
You
You can't
university
see
around
what's
you.
below this the webcam.
Your balance
I've been
is...
unicycling the whole time.
He's got no legs. His lower half is just a unicycle.
I was going to say, your balance is impeccable then.
He has lost to the wheel now.
We could only afford one wheel to replace his lower half, so...
The impeccable balance of Tom Jordan sounds like a film waiting to happen.
It does. Sounds like a shitty Oscar bait thing.
It really does.
It's the next Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
He was born with a unicycle for legs.
Particularly because you're one of the clumsiest humans I know.
That is a fact about
Maybe
me.
it's all the front. Maybe it's because when we see him, he has legs, and he struggles to use the wheel with legs.
Are you implying when you don't see me, my legs disappear?
Are you implying he's some sort of visible wheel maid?
I only have legs when people are looking at me. Is that what you're implying?
I'm implying that you have a pair of disguised legs that you put on when we're around. And then obviously when we're not, you're free to just have your wheel exposed.
Well, that being said, welcome to another episode of Fact versus Fiction, the only podcast where we've been unicycling the whole time. I'm Tom J, and I am one of your hosts for this week. Joining me, as always, is Tom C. Corby.
Tom to the
Tom C.
C to the Corby.
Yeah.
Meh, see, meh. Here to talk about anime, meh.
God.
Also, I
Well,
definitely
can't-
have
can't
no
you-
wheels.
Roderick can't catch you if you're on a unicycle.
That's canon.
Joining me also is John,
Yes.
and of course, Matt.
I do like how unsure you sounded of whether you were going to be a host this week. I don't know why you just, it was a pause. So, I'm going to be one of your hosts.
One of the hosts.
Maybe chuckle.
I just froze for a while. I just said after my intro, I just said yes, and then everyone else just froze, kind of like at the screen. It was really disconcerting.
I wondered why you only
wasn't
said
sure
yes and nothing more.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was going to be more to the yes, or it was just
I know.
a strong, definitive yes.
Yeah, I like to leave them wanting.
Can confirm.
We agree not to talk about a relationship on the podcast. Tom.
This is why you've been breaking quarantine. Those crafting nights weren't crafting at all, except a romance.
Oh, we were making something. Sweet, sweet love. Anyway, let's continue.
Cue sexy guitar noises.
Bow, 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 bow. Meow.
I don't know whether that's sexy or whether that's Rage Against the Machine at this point. It's hard to tell.
Isn't that just the
It can
same
be
thing?
both.
It's just when Tom Morello does it, it's aggressive.
Aggressively sexual guitars.
Just to clarify, Fact vs. Fiction does not condone breaking quarantine for sexy affairs or other reasons.
What
Other
about
than
Not
sex
entirely
scenes.
true. No.
Some of us.
Send you home, or I'll hunt you with a crossbow. It's fine.
Can confirm.
Yeah, that Mike Ethan roleplay got out of hand.
Anyway,
Anyway, Corby,
Anywho.
I think you said you had the hypothetical for this one.
I did. So just before, I don't know if I'm including that bit about John talking about Pokemon Go. Probably not, considering it involves other people that aren't on this podcast. But
Yeah.
it got me thinking, and this is also something I saw on a tweet a while back, and I thought, oh, that's a cool idea to bring up to the others. So my hypothetical, I guess, to you all regarding Pokemon, because you know, who doesn't love Pokemon?
Pokemon!
Gotta catch them all.
all.
If you were a Pokemon gym leader, what type would you be? And what would your signature Pokemon be?
Yes.
Ooh.
This is a problem because my favourite Pokemon isn't one of my favourite Pokemon types.
Yes, it's a real problem when it comes to that, ain't it?
My favourite Pokemon is two types.
I assume almost all of them are two types.
The majority of them are. However, I would almost definitely be a ghost type leader.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Unquestionable.
can see that.
Yeah, and my signature Pokemon, if anyone's watched my Pokemon Shield playthrough, would almost definitely be Chandelure.
Oh, that fucking lantern piece of gar. Ah, fuck that Pokemon.
It's like Gengar on crack. It's great.
Fucking lantern piece of garbage. Fucking light.
You're a light fixture. Stay on the wall.
It's a chandelier, so technically it should hang from the ceiling.
Fuck off, you big lamp.
You wouldn't know that, you blood nerd.
It's called
Big
Chandelure.
reference.
It's fairly obvious.
I do know what gym leader I would be. I would probably be a ground type gym leader, only because I love Flygon.
Grounded.
Flygon
Ooh,
is
choice.
badass. Love him. And it's a bastard to get him, but I also technically... The only downside is I wouldn't be able to have an Aggron because they're rock steel rather than ground steel.
I've
is
got
annoying.
a similar problem.
So
with,
I think,
yeah.
no, I think I'd definitely be ground gym with a thing, and you'd have to find me buried in the sand like a shitty archaeologist.
Because that's what you do. You dig your own holes.
Yes, exactly. The gym is wherever I am, so it's like in a pyramid in the desert.
Tom and John, do we
Oh,
have
like,
any?
Nicolas Cage, yeah.
I would be, I think, a dark type gym leader because
So edgy.
I am still emo at heart,
Oh,
and I'm just double checking the typing of the Pokemon.
You
that
could have
I was
access to
gonna
my
say.
favourite Pokemon then, which is annoying.
Oh, that's not a dark
have
type.
access to it.
Damn.
It makes it sound like you're the only one who has it, John.
I mean, those starter Pokemon.
Well, no, I mean,
True.
if you're a gym leader of a particular type, you don't have any other types, do you? So I wouldn't be able to have access to this, basically.
Oh,
My favourite Pokemon.
yeah.
Yeah, I basically went for I looked at the ghost lists and I'm like, this has the majority of what I would like. I could take
Yes.
Chandelure as
Have
my
Sand
base.
Slash as well.
Ooh, you-
I'm gonna have my Raichu that knows Dig because that's a ground move.
There have been Pokemon in earlier games for for more dumb reasons.
Sorry, Tom, you were gonna say.
Yeah, I'll be a dark type gym leader, and my primary Pokemon will be Umbreon.
Oh, solid choice. I am a fan of the ums.
Yeah. I was
That's
going to
good.
say Corviknight, but that's actually Steel Flying.
Slightly
Oh, is that on the new one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's from
that's-
Sword and Shield.
That's the
Oh, it's
big
I
crow.
think it
looking
can
type.
learn
it's
dark
Skarmory,
moves,
isn't it?
but it's not a dark type
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Have you seen Honchkrow? The
Oh,
Murkrow.
no,
It looks like
I've not
a
seen
it literally
Honchkrow.
looks like a mafioso boss.
That's
He
that's
is
the pun. It's the head
Honchkrow.
Honchkrow. It's the head
smug
Honchkrow.
mafioso. Yeah.
He is that one character from Danger Mouse, if you know.
Yes.
See
Oh.
Baloney. Anyway.
John,
Anyone
what
on
would
the
you
face, we
be
get it?
if you've actually come
Like,
to a
if-
decision?
I have. I was having I do really like ground types and stuff like that because I really like, what the hell is his name?
Right on.
Rolly Elephant Boy.
Oh, Donphan.
Donphan. He's so
Donphan.
good. Donphan. But my favourite Pokemon of all time is Tyranitar. He's easy
Oh,
boy,
choice.
But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Tyranitar's solid. But I'd probably end up being a Steel type gym leader, I think. And just because I don't know, I always like Steel types.
You
I
can
think
get
that's a
like
Steel type I'd
Aggron,
look at.
Steelix, Bastillodon.
You can, and
Yeah.
I think probably my main,
Those are
if
good.
I was going to have like this is the one you have to defeat, it'd probably be Metagross.
Oh,
That would do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
All the
He's
powerful
easy to beat
Pokemon are
I
coming out.
remember hating Metagross when I had to do the Sapphire Gym. Not Gym, Elite Four.
God. If I could, I'd have Metagross, Aggron, bloody Steelix, because I love my Steelix. He's my good boy.
I'm just
Uh,
looking at the list on Cerebi now, just to see what.
What other good nonsense is there? I don't know the later version.
Any of
ones,
the
but there's-
Magnemites? You like them?
Yeah.
Skarmory's good.
Skymarie is good.
Skarmory's good.
Yeah.
Oh, you could, no, John, you could have Skizzer. The Fire
Yeah, no,
Steel.
he's not. He's not bad. He's not bad. I was thinking him or
Bug
Forest.
Steel.
Very
Forest
red.
is funny just to go tank. Boom. Just,
Oh,
he's a
I
big
just say
boy.
Fire Steel. Bug Steel. Are there any Fire Steel?
Fire and Steel types. I think
Yeah,
there are, but I'm
Heat
not
Ran.
sure. Oh, yeah,
Heatran.
Heat Ran.
But no, bug steel types are great. But obviously, if you've got a fire type, they're dead as hell.
But I think
They're dead as hell.
isn't fire the only thing that kills them?
It's the only thing they're vulnerable to, but they're double vulnerable to it.
Yeah.
Like water ground Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just.
Do
I'd
you like
it.
magic
Yeah,
hips?
Yes.
Who
What do
doesn't
you,
love a mud?
what do you
God,
think?
how old does that mean?
Very old.
What the Christ? I'm not doing that anymore. Oh, and there's
Oh,
also
oh.
Bastion. Oh, he's a good boy. And Lucario.
Yeah.
Shit. There's a lot of good ones
Oh
in
shit! Yeah, there's a
Steel.
lot of good steel choices.
Excadrill. This is all fantastic. Anyway.
Excadrill is.
I just got.
Excadrill, tournament banned in Gen 5 for being too good.
I just got 3 Sandshrews, 1 Sandslash, a Flygon, and then a Raichu with Dig.
You are that meme gym leader at the...
They turn up with like a full water type army to beat you. It's like, well, I've got a secret. I've got this Raichu which knows Dig, and therefore permissible by the rules. just like... Gym leader, that's not a ground type.
That's bullshit.
Side note, but have you all seen a Lowland Doug trio?
I hate
Yes.
it, but yes.
Does it make you think of...
Isn't he?
Yeah, does it make you
yeah.
think of the He-Man, what's
Yeah,
going on song
yeah.
when you look at it? Anyway, Pokemon aside.
Oh. It's
That's the highest note I've ever hit.
Pokemon aside, as Matt said, it is Fiction Week, which means we are going to be learning more about a fictional cast of characters in a real town. I nearly
Wait,
said
One Small Town is real?
well, the town is real.
And then you'll be learning about a real cast of characters in a fake town.
You and I are in that town right now, Matt.
Wait, I'm in this show? Oh my god.
It's a true
We're
crime
in one
series.
small
It's
town,
a
Matt.
true crime. Oh my god, it is. It's a true crime series.
What y'all don't know at home is this is just Tom's confessions.
Ah.
Yeah, that's right. I killed David.
Oh, well, you know, that explains why we haven't spoken to him in a while.
Oh. Anyway,
Brushing murder under the rug.
as we love to
As
do
we
on
do.
this podcast.
We do.
For the first part of this episode, we will be hearing about the first part of One Small Town, Episode 6, That Friday Feeling, Hate.
What? Who hates Fridays?
That's the name of the episode, That Friday Feeling, Hate.
I
It's a
think
real-
you and me have a different opinion on Fridays.
God, you were edgy when you were young.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
We've,
god, it's
we've
the
not even got to the
weekend.
edgiest
Oh,
bits.
Tell me
Yeah.
what you hate about Fridays, Tom.
I think the idea is that, while usually people love Fridays, on this particular Friday in the episode, there's a lot of hate going around.
Ah. More letters.
Mm.
God damn those postmen.
Just angrily shoving it through a letterbox. And the mail.
So I take it we'd like a catch-up on what happened
Please.
last time?
Yeah, at least a quick 5-minute thing.
Yeah. Previously on One Small Town,
Dun, dun,
the
dun, dun.
school year began. Ben found himself caught between his friends and his girlfriend when conflict broke out between Amy and Jenny.
Girlfriend.
Drake found out that despite David's death, he's not entirely free of his past. And perhaps most notably, Elliot confessed to Simon that he is the one who killed David, his girlfriend's cousin, leading Simon to end his friendship with Elliot. And the last we saw of Simon, he yelled at his sister and then took a bottle of wine out of the fridge and snuck it away.
His mum's gonna notice the missing wine.
Simon, where the
Possibly.
fuck is my wine?
Connor, have you been gambling my wine away? Opens gambling stash
No.
an envelope with wine in it.
Walks to a
Secret
room,
wine
top of the
stash.
computer, winegamblers.com. No!
Scene 1. Rachel and Simon leave their house together. Rachel notes that Simon is looking very tired this morning. He's hungover as fuck.
Did he consume the whole bottle, wine included?
We don't find
Hang
out
on.
how much wine he had. Wait, what?
Yeah, I realised what I said. Consume the
He
whole
poured
bottle
all the
wine.
wine away and just ate the glass bottle.
Oh.
You wait for the bottle to dissolve, and then eventually you just get like a high that continues throughout the day just from the drink.
Illegal wine high.
Yeah.
God damn these
Fem-
laws of
He's
civilization.
just fermenting the bottles in his windowsill.
We don't find out how much he actually had, but we can assume it was a fair bit, enough
I
to get
mean-
him hungover.
Yeah, like half a bottle of wine, two-thirds of a bottle of
Yeah.
wine could give someone who's never drunk a hangover, I guess. Or not drunk properly.
Yeah.
It depends how. If you drink a bottle of wine real damn quick, you might get one.
Matt's over here like, look at these amateurs.
Those are rookie numbers, Simon. You got to get those numbers up.
Says the person now who might get a hangover after 4 pints.
Oh.
My body can't handle it anymore.
You need to force it to handle. You need to force it to assimilate. It's like,
God. Please, not the assimilation game again.
Amy and Ben are waiting at the gate at the end of their drive to walk to school with them. Simon notes to Rachel that her mysterious boyfriend isn't picking her up today, and Rachel jokes that his is, indicating Ben.
Oh,
Lovely casual homophobia
yeah, that's fair.
sprinkled in.
No, I mean, as we know, that Rachel and Simon are the only people who've ever seen Harry O'Daniels. Actually, did Simon see
No,
Harry O'Daniels?
Simon hasn't seen Harry O'Daniels.
Simon hasn't acknowledged Harry O'Daniels.
Because it was Simon that just snapped her and says he doesn't exist.
Simon did last we see her yell at her about Harry O'Daniels because he's sick of hearing about him.
She hasn't talked to anyone about him.
no, he's there, you know.
Sharpening
Hanging
his
out.
bear traps. Getting ready with his fishing rod.
Oh. So as they walk, Ben asks Simon about weird things he said to him on the phone last night, and Simon says that Ben should probably ignore whatever he said.
Okay, fair enough. Just
Ben-
go back for a
Sorry?
split second. Matt, sharpening bear traps is the most dangerous fucking thing I've ever heard of. No one does that. I don't think they do that.
Also,
It's like,
also when you
I've
said
got to
sharp,
set this and then just carefully.
also when you said like also with his fishing rod there, I also just did picture the Animal Crossing villager.
Sharpening a bear trap.
As long as you're not sharpening.
Harry O'Daniels coming to Animal Crossing, new update.
The Harry O'Daniels drop.
Harry O'Daniels for Smash.
New challenger
He's already
approaches.
smashed. That's part of the problem.
Oh,
Anyway, sorry, Tom.
So, yeah,
That stuck in my craw a bit.
Ben questions Simon about strange things he said on the phone to him last night, and Simon tells Ben to pretty much ignore whatever he
Oh.
said on the phone last night.
So Simon got drunk and called Ben.
Yep. Well, Ben says that's all right, he didn't pick up a lot of it anyway because he was busy with Jenny, to which both Amy and Simon react strongly. You were with Jenny last night? Rachel quickly changes the subject by saying how glad she is it's Friday and the school week is nearly over.
Wait, why was Ben with Jenny?
It's not said.
It wasn't even mentioned at the end of last episode.
Nope. This happened
You
between
can't
the
blame the
episodes.
author when the author's you. It's not defined clearly.
I was with her
I think-
all night.
I mean, we all know what that implies, but
I think
Sitting
the
inside,
implication is meant to be they were
comfortable
studying together, but I didn't write down what they were actually doing. It's just a bit of contrived thing for
It's
Simon and Amy to get a
conflict.
reaction.
Not conflict, sorry. It's melodrama.
Yeah,
Hey, you want to buy someone on the dark web? You're alright.
because obviously Amy hates Jenny and Simon has a crush on Jenny. Neither
me
of them
just
want Ben to
email
be
the
hanging
web.
out too much with Jenny.
I need a wall map of this.
You need the always
That's
sunny.
always
Yeah,
sunny.
strings on a
Always sunny meme
fucking
with the strings
corkboard.
everywhere.
Exactly what I need because I struggle with this every time.
it's when we come back for next fiction week and John's back wall is just covered in.
Hello.
Just one small town. Pictures of different staircases, angles
figured it out.
measured for
The answer is
lethal.
rhubarb.
And trying to
The
work
answer
out.
what?
And then there's just a one thread just into the middle of nowhere, and it's like at the end of it, it just says island.
It all centers around Harry O'Daniels.
Oh. As I said, Rachel manages to change the subject before that gets out of hand. Simon then notes they are taking a different route to the one he usually takes, and Ben says it's because they're taking the detour to pick up Elliot on the way.
Dun, dun, dun,
Simon
dun.
stops and says no, and says that they should stay away from Elliot.
No.
Both Rachel...
You stay away.
I disagree.
Both Rachel and Ben sort of stop and question that because Simon and Elliot are best friends. Amy doesn't really care because she doesn't really like Simon and hasn't met Elliot.
I could
Wait,
not
how,
finish it.
how has she not met Elliot?
She hasn't met Elliot
They've
yet.
been in multiple scenes. at the
They
same
go to the
time.
same school!
In the show, Amy hasn't met Elliot. They've never shared a scene.
A
They're probably
spoken
aware
conversation.
of each other.
I'm aware of their existence.
They've just never shared a scene. But yeah, Amy doesn't really care and sort of goes on ahead, not wanting to be late. And Rachel goes along with Amy. Ben stays back and asks Simon, "What's going on? Why do you not want to see Elliot?"
Kill them.
Yeah, he's been your best friend for years. And Simon says, "Has been." And here's Simon's edgy comments for the day.
Goody.
Everyone-
Another, like, David and Drake comment.
Everyone clench.
Does everybody remember David's comment from the beginning? I breathe danger.
Simon
Paraphrasing.
delivers.
John.
I do not consent to this.
Simon delivers what I would call a trailer line. A line that I would have put in the trailer if there were a trailer for this show. Simon says to Ben, "Listen, knowing who your enemies are comes as natural skill. It's knowing who your real friends are. That's the difficult part. Stay away from Elliot."
It's like a shit spy film quote. He's gone. He's walked out the room. John's gone. Oh my god! It's like all of a sudden you've switched the theming to a thriller.
Continue. The opening credits run.
Oh god, we hadn't even started properly.
Yeah, that was the cold open.
Fucking hell.
Oh.
One small town appears happily across the screen.
For all our listeners, it's just going to appear across your eyeballs, and I'm sorry for this.
So, scene 2. Ivy and Mike Ethan are hanging out before school begins. Mike Evil is filling Ivy in on all the Amy and Jenny drama that was...
Say Mike Evil.
He did!
I said Mike Evil.
Yeah, yes, he called him Mike Evil.
Mike Evil, his secret doppelganger.
Mike Evil.
You can tell
Mike
he's got a mustache.
Does Mike
Well,
Evil hunt
it's
his
weird,
dad?
Mike...
No, son, put the gun down.
Mike Ethan from the fucking pocket dimension, but everything's reversed.
Mike Ethan from the Back to the Future worst dimension.
Yeah.
Mike Ethan is filling in Ivy on the Amy and Jenny armor that and Jenny's drama that happened last episode. And then Elliot shows up, and Ivy has a go at Elliot because he's been avoiding her all week. Mike Ethan makes himself scarce, and Ivy gives a final dig at Elliot and then goes with Mike Ethan.
I mean, they've only been dating, 2 weeks?
About that, yeah.
So they've been dating 2 weeks, and Elliot has been avoiding for a week. It's going well.
That's not even the worst part of this relationship.
No.
We then cut to Amy opening her locker, and she finds a note inside. We don't actually see what this note says, but we can assume it's another threatening letter.
Has it been burned?
This one has not been burned.
Are these letters handwritten or typed?
Handwritten.
I was picturing, like in the old things where they cut letters out of magazines.
Yes, magazine cutout, actually.
Okay.
Retroactively, yeah. Retcon that. It's magazine cutouts.
Which can we just take a moment to put out how dedicated some of these stalkers are to go cutting out magazine letters?
Magazines are pricey.
You've got to admire the creativity.
You've got to get all the right letter sizes.
Exactly. Yeah. Like credit to Drake there on that front. I'm assuming it's Drake.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. It's definitely Drake.
He's doing Drake things.
For a split second, Matt, I thought you just said, credit to Drake, the rapper. And I was like, what's he Has he been harassing people? What's going on?
Matt does not condone rappers harassing people.
No, I don't condone anyone harassing people.
Especially rappers, though.
But especially rappers. I hate it when they put you in the Christmas wrapping.
So Amy finds the note and scrunches it up and shuts her locker. She then sees Jenny over at her locker and storms over there, slamming Jenny's locker door shut. She tells Jenny to back off her and Ben, says, I know it's you, and I'm not scared of you. Jenny doesn't really know what Amy is talking about, but says, okay, I don't stare you, but I must either intimidate you or make you jealous.
Damn.
Both accuse the other of being in the wrong, and Jenny walks away. Amy is not having a good
Explosion
time.
happens behind her.
Simon walks over then and has a go at Amy for being mean to Jenny.
Fucking hell, it's like a conga train.
Just get to class, you fuckers.
It's like they're all queuing off screen. It's like that scene in Airplane. When you turn around and there's the queue of people about to attack the
And Drake's back there with a gun. He's like, I'm never going to get there before class. And just, no, he's older. I know he's older.
Oh.
I've got to sell drugs by 12. This is taking too long.
I got to put this library book back. I got all the letters out, and hopefully they won't notice.
I need to buy my daily version of Spider-Man 1.
Oh. So Simon has a go at Amy, and Amy sort of turns on him and says, Simon, there are two sides to every story. Simon then says, oh yeah, there are definitely two sides. Jenny doesn't deserve it, and you're a bitch. And then he walks
Ooh.
away.
Fucking hell, Simon.
He's turned into a sassy little bitch.
Hungover
Sassy
Simon
little kelpie.
gives no fucks. On his way, Simon goes down into the stairwell and bumps into Elliot, and then says, ha, it's all about the bitch and the bastard this morning.
What?
I like to think Elliot's too confused to just be insulted. He's like, well, what?
Why was Simon suddenly throwing out one-liners?
It's all about the bitch and the bastard this morning.
Elliot
well-known
does say, what's that supposed to mean?
It's a well-known saying.
It's all about the bitch and the bastard.
That must be an Ilkley thing, I'm assuming.
Oh, no.
Just,
No,
it's
it's not.
him, I think.
Alternate title for this episode, the bitch and the bastard.
All about the
It's
bitch and the
my-
bastards.
My
The
low-budget
bastard
Beauty and the
wardrobe.
Beast rendition.
Tale as old as time. Simon tells Elliot basically he doesn't want to see him ever. Elliot asks Simon if he'll ever forgive him, and Simon sort of says, you should really be saying sorry to Ivy, not me.
Fair
Remind me
point.
again, that's a fair point, but remind me again how it's Elliot's fault that his dad's been arrested for gambling.
He shot a guy and they found the gambling stash on the guy's body, so they assumed it's son's dad who did it, and so he's gone to jail. He's
Gotcha,
basically
right.
he's been in prison temporarily for it, I believe.
That is...
Yeah, he went to prison like without trial immediately.
Yep.
He
just
was
in
within a
prison.
day.
You go to horny jail, bonk.
Ugh.
So like gambling. Is he going to gambling jail instead, or? Because
Hey, Simon, I got out. I gambled my way out.
I challenged the warden. I gambled my years against my freedom, and he's now in my place.
He's back in my cell. I'm now in a prison.
I'm the warden.
stop it! I know what you're referencing. Stop it.
I know, partly, yes.
But Elliot keeps asking Simon, like, I'm asking you if you'll ever forgive me. And Simon says, maybe eventually, but not today. The sight of you makes me sick. And then he keeps sort of saying, I'm going to be sick. And Elliot says, okay, I get the point. And then Simon says, no, I'm literally going to be sick. He clutches his stomach, puts his hand over his mouth, and runs down the stairs. Elliot grimaces.
Vomits
Everywhere.
over the handrail of the stairs.
And that's the end of scene 2. Scene 3. Drake walks onto the school grounds.
Oh yeah,
What's he gonna do this time?
he's gonna do Drake stuff. He's gonna be cool and edgy. Wow.
He goes into the school and sees the empty corridors and the students in class. Class has started now, between
I'm
scenes.
assuming he's not shocked by this. He does understand how school works,
Yeah.
right? What are they doing in his room?
He says, organized little buggers.
You-
He,
what the fuck is wrong with this man?
Italy really fucked this person up. I blame Italy, not the murder.
He's not talking to anyone.
yeah, he's talking out loud to himself.
I mean,
I
that
do
part,
that.
that's not the weird part to me, because that I do that, but
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's like he's a stranger walking into a school.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, when you just like organize little buggers, my brain instantly made him Australian.
Chicken Run. My brain went to Chicken Run. Those chickens are organised.
Those chickens are up to so much.
He also says, Jesus, is every student here in lessons? Where are the rebels?
Oh, fuck Christ's sake.
This school is full of fucking nerds!
Yeah, essentially.
How is a man meant to make a living here?
Oh my god.
The one rebel tried to fucking stab you. I think that's fair. Do you want more of them? We can get more of them.
I need a fresh shipment of rebels in by end of week.
Oh,
It's just a
Simon?
boxload of rebel Wilsons.
Also,
Oh, I misheard you. I've shipped you a shipment of revels.
he's in the corridors, yeah.
Rebels.
He's walking through the corridors. Right, okay. Because in my experience at schools, people are always distracted by anytime anyone walks past a bloody classroom door.
Also, is
So
it technically... Sorry, Don, you can say.
So it's going to be a case of he's walking past these classrooms and people immediately going, who the hell is that?
Well, that was going to be my point. Doesn't Drake technically go to this school?
I think
No.
he's older, isn't he?
Or is he, what is he, 18?
He's 17,
17. So, no,
He's still
technically he
school
should be
age.
sixth form or college.
but he's not in the school. He's not enlisted.
Right, okay,
he's not
gotcha.
enrolled. So after he asks where all the rebels are, Simon comes round the corner looking slightly ill, and Drake says, that's more like it.
Oh, I hate him. Not because he's
Oh, that's more like it. Winks at camera.
He fourth wall breaks.
He's the ultimate fourth wall breaker, yeah.
He's a shitty Deadpool.
Simon asks who he is, and he says no one important.
Oh, fuck.
And Simon asks what he's doing here. Drake doesn't answer that question, and he just asks Simon why he's late to class. And Simon says that he was sick because he's hungover. Drake disappointedly says, so you're not late on purpose? And Simon says, no. And Drake says...
Y'all
Am I supposed to hurt you, John?
at home
John-
can't see this,
John
but
might
Tom,
leave the room again when I say this line.
That's fine. My soul is still out there. It's okay.
Brace yourselves.
Drake says...
Tom is going pink, by the way.
Drake says, damn it, where's the fun here? Is nobody living dangerously anymore?
What? Oh, you're so dangerous. You're late to class.
I do like how he's
You're ill.
complaining about the lack of rebels when he's talking to a guy who's thrown up because he's just got absolutely wasted the night before. Is
I
that
know.
not good enough?
I know you don't have an answer to this, Tom, but what the fuck is Drake's objective right now?
I don't think he's got one.
What's
He's
the
got
point
none.
of anything
I-
he's
I
Drake
doing?
is an agent of chaos.
He's not,
think,
no.
I think
He's
when
not an
David
agent
died,
of chaos.
I think when David died, he lost all purpose.
That's pretty much accurate.
it's like the thrall has been freed and he doesn't know what to do.
If Drake was an agent of chaos, chaos would be happening. Instead, he's a mild inconvenience to anybody on a random
He
day.
thinks he's chaotic neutral when in reality
He's an agent of mild convenience, then.
God.
Oh. So Simon asks, can I help you? Like, what are you doing? And Drake says, yes, you can help me. What do you hate the most about this corridor?
Oh, for fuck's he's gonna go
Simon says,
smash what he
"I'm
hates.
sorry?" Drake takes out a Swiss Army knife and shows it to Simon and says, if you had to see one thing in this corridor destroyed, what would it be? Simon says, who the hell are you?
What Simon should have done, he should have just backed just you and just see what happens. And just see what would happen.
it's when Drake actually commits to the bit and he's like, well, I guess I gotta.
Well, shit. That's my thumb's gone. Just...
Oh,
No, God, I'm actually trying to get a
Can you-
Sorry, enough. Let's-
Cuts the thumbs. I was like, can you hold the knife for me, please?
so as Simon didn't answer the question, Drake says, I'll pick for you, and picks the walls. He flicks open the knife and walks over to one of the corridor's walls as Simon tries to take in what is happening. A member of staff then walks around the corner and sees Drake and asks who he is and what's going on.
Simon just looks back like, I do not know what is happening right now.
I am the reckoning of this city. No.
Scratches
Actually-
wall menacingly.
Actually,
It's a Swiss Army knife. You can only just barely scratch a wall with it. Like, good for you. Drake was here. Dick.
So, the staff member asks, "What's going on, and who are you?" Simon answers the question as though it's directed at himself and says, "Simon Cobston." The staff member says, "Not you, him."
Not you, you bleeding idiot.
Drake says, "You don't need to know who I am."
I hate this man. I hate this direction.
I'm waiting for the moment where Drake gets punched in the face once and cries.
Yes.
Because he's that kind of person.
He screams person who's trying to be tough and like a bully, but the moment anybody like grazes him with a brush of air, he collapses and dies.
And that's what I'm thinking.
The staff member then says, "You're carrying a knife on school grounds. I think I do need to know who you are. Where are you supposed to be right now?" Drake answers this question, "In another country, starting a new life, but that dream died along with my friend. So to answer your question, I should be walking about outside."
Why?
He wasn't your friend. He was.
What? Who says that? You physically hurt me, Tom.
I think I've known a kid like that, but at the same point, he was unhinged, and like we just felt bad for him.
I mean, Drake
it's not
is
edgy
unhinged
anymore. It's just what?
Desperate.
I think he's actually just suffering a mental collapse.
Probably.
Drake is strange and off-putting in a lot of ways.
I don't know if those are the words I'd use.
Are they words you wouldn't use?
Confusing.
So the staff member says, "What do you mean by that? Whose class are you supposed to be in?" And Drake then says, "You're not that intelligent for someone who chose this as a career. I don't go here. I don't go to any school."
To be fair, you see a 17-year-old in a school, you kind of assume they're supposed to be there. But at the same point, it's like this just reminds me of the One Punch meme, like the teacher being the One Punch man. It's like, whose strange sassy child is this? You know that?
Yeah. That does fit.
Fall behind me. It's a ghost. It's fine.
The teacher threatens to call the police on Drake, and Drake holds up the knife and threatens the teacher and says, "You don't want to do that." It is
You could
just a
hurt
Swiss
somebody
Army
with a
knife.
Swiss Army
You
knife.
can hurt someone with it, true, but it's also like the least edgy,
It's still
the
an
least
offensive
edgy knife
weapon.
you could carry around with you.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, technically I'm able to carry this. Ooh, you fucking dick.
Amy comes out of a nearby classroom with a box full of papers, running an errand for a teacher, and sees the three of them.
She just walks in on the Mexican standoff.
Yeah. Amy is like, "What the hell are you doing here?"
And Simon says Simon Cobston. He's had a moment. He's alright.
That's all he can say at the moment. He can't say any other words. It's just his name.
Yep.
Drake then says to Amy, "Good morning to you too, beautiful. Please hate Drake more."
I don't hate him. I just
You should.
I want to see him get help. I don't know. Not even help. Just like, just someone hit him with a shovel, so at least he can be at peace.
Somebody
You
take
wanna
him
see
behind
him
the
put-
back and put him down.
So you don't want to see him helped. You just want to see him put down.
It's like an animal in pain. I just want to see him euthanized.
Gosh.
Simon expresses surprise that Amy and Drake know each other. Amy tells Simon to stay out of it.
The teacher is just not doing anything.
The teacher says, "Amy, could you please tell me who this foolish boy is?"
Foolish boy! This fool of a took!
I'm gonna say, why is the teacher Gandalf? What?
Drake says, "Hey, I'm all man."
So pathetic.
What?
And part machine.
My mummy said
me,
I'm very
please.
handsome. Now watch me stab this wall. I know his parents are dead or whatever. I don't even give a shit anymore.
Amy threatens to Amy says, "Maybe I could tell you something about what he does for a living if he's not willing to get the hell away from me." And Drake delivers the worst line of dialogue. I'm going to call it in the entire show.
Should I brace
Clench!
Clench, everybody clench.
I'm getting ready to
You're
leave
going to
the
have to
night.
brace yourself, guys. Drake unfortunately says, "Whoa, chillax, babe. It's not as if I'm stalking you."
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he used the word chillax, which was painful to read.
Like, wait, oh.
John just muting while he's screaming off in the
Silent
distance.
Screaming. Also, if Amy doesn't work out that Drake is stalking her from that sentence
There's no
alone,
hope
Amy
for
is
it.
officially thick as pig shit.
I think we've worked out that everyone in this show is either an idiot or a terrible person, or both, at this point. Except Mike Ethan.
And maybe Harry O'Daniels.
We don't know enough about Harry. We will never
He
know
has
enough
his
about
own
Harry
priorities.
Too
O'Daniel.
mysterious. He's an
Probably could be
international man of
terrible.
mystery.
John, are you okay?
Austin
You've got like a
Powers?
1,000-yard stare then.
I just have that anyway. It's fine.
Oh, so, Amy then says, screw you, drops her box of papers, punches Drake in the face, and he
Yes!
flies backwards through the doors and onto
Yes!
the stairs.
What punch?
Yes! Also, I like that Drake didn't do anything to stop that happening. He didn't raise anything and then just suck a punch down the staircase.
This is the second time Amy has punched Drake in the face.
Oh, brilliant.
The three of them rush through the doors to see if he's alright. He gets up from the stairs, clutching his arm. His knife is on the ground with a tiny bit of blood on the blade. He then says to Amy, "You're going to regret you ever did that," and runs off down the stairs before the staff member can catch up with him.
I'm gonna stalk you even harder.
You'll regret that when I come back with a bigger knife.
You know those magazine ads you've been? I'm gonna get the real glossy ones. There, yeah, the £2.50 magazines, you bitch. And they just leave us. I don't know.
That's ideal because he's been cutting the magazines up.
Oh, God. Oh.
And that is where we're going to leave the episode for the moment. We will finish that episode in 2 weeks' time.
That might have been, at the same time, the
God,
best and most painful scene.
I got to that scene and I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be most of the segment.
I just don't want Drake to last the season. I'd rather have just like if Elliot accidentally keeps getting his hand on weapons than
I
accidentally
reckon,
killing people.
like,
And that's how most of the cast disappears. It's
If-
just
if-
Elliot happens to be holding the wrong implement at the wrong time
becomes
and they just walk into
it
him.
becomes an accidental murder mystery.
Oh yeah,
like-
the first accidental serial killer.
Well, I accidentally shanked him again. What can I say?
My knife, it just fell into my hand and up his neck.
A knife
Hey,
just
listen,
walk
Simon,
into
I've
it.
got something to tell you. It fucking happened again. Like,
I was holding a gun and I sneezed.
Turns out I'm allergic to gunpowder.
I'm
Hey,
allergic
listen,
to
Simon.
violence.
I may have killed Ben's cousin.
Ben had a cousin? He doesn't anymore.
Elliot's just going around accidentally killing everyone's cousin.
He's got a real thing against cousins.
He doesn't have any, so he hates everyone that does. So
Maybe
he just-
Elliot is the true villain, and Drake's going to be dead like 2 or 3 episodes later.
Elliot actually does canonically have a cousin,
Ooh.
who we will not meet because that was a
'Cause he's
part
killed.
for season 2, which never got written.
Ah, but that means we know that Elliot survived season 1, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm gonna say that's because season 2 takes place centering around Elliot's cousin.
We don't,
In
just
Italy.
know his cousin survived.
Gotta go back
Yeah.
to Italy. Slowly turning
We're
this
gonna
into
go
JoJo's
back.
Bizarre Adventure.
We're going to go back, Simon! Back to Italy! We've never been to Italy. We're going to go back!
Your
Oh,
cousin
season
needs you.
2
I have a
just-
cousin.
Is season 2 just Elliot possessed by Drake? And
Oh,
it's like Twin Peaks. Anyway,
Twin
But yeah, do we have any other thoughts, predictions for the future of this show?
I've got nothing. I cannot predict where this is going.
if Drake doesn't die by like at least the end of the season, I will come to your house, Tom.
He won't do anything. He'll just turn up.
I don't have to. I just need to stand there for a couple of days.
A day?
Yeah.
Yeah, John could survive staring at Tom for a few days, I think.
That's fair.
Hey, oh, this is what 3 days without water? I'll be right.
It's just the second day. It's just like, Tom, what? Can you just, give me some water? Shit.
Just
Tom goes outside, pulls some water in John's mouth.
No, it's okay. One of those days will be raining. It'll be fine.
You just open the curtains and John's just stood there with his mouth open, staring. It's like something out of The Faculty.
Did he bring a funnel with him? Yes.
Prepared. Oh, the awkward moment when it turns to hail and you just get several sizable hailstones just shoot down the funnel.
Yes. It's fine.
Hey, he gets ice water. It's fine.
Ooh, very nice. All right.
Oh,
Corby.
it's
In that case,
it's that time of year again, isn't it, boys?
You're right. It's
the
mid-October.
most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, it's all right.
It's
It's a pretty good time of the year.
The spooky season is coming, which is why I've definitely not chosen a spooky anime to talk about.
Ooh.
I keep on
Dun,
saying
dun.
Santa things.
You know
and
what?
stuff.
I just realised I unintentionally talked about another, and that's probably going to go out during the spooky season. So
So we'll do.
good on me
It's
for
good.
my hindsight.
It'll be
in
the
that
one
one.
before the. It'll be the one before the Halloween episode, won't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
That worked out. Wow.
Yeah. Something that didn't work out is One Small Town has a Halloween episode, but we won't get to that for like
No.
a good while.
Until Christmas.
We probably won't get to it until next year, so it's fine.
Does Elliot accidentally kill Ivy while carving a pumpkin?
So
Maybe.
we're doing roughly an
We'll have to
episode,
wait to
episode
find
a
out.
month,
Yeah, it's an episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have been working on something. Working on.
I know you shushed the dogs then, John, but it sounded like you shushed Tom.
I know.
I'm working on something. Shh, no.
I've been working my way through the. I don't know what to call it because it's like different series. There's certain. Well, the main one's certain magical index, but I haven't actually started that because I'm working on the prequel, which is what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about a certain scientific railgun.
Oh, pew pew.
I did promise the others teleporting lesbians, so here we are.
That was the premise you sold us on at the end of the last episode.
I mean, there is at least one. I don't know if there are more in the future, but there's definitely at least one. So, normally I run through a list of characters, but it's easy for me to explain the background stuff before we actually get into the people.
Okay.
So, somewhere in Japan, somewhat close to Tokyo, there is a city known only as Academy City. This is a city where most people send their kids off to be trained to be what they call espers. Espers are people who have special powers, basically. It's
So
just
it's like a super kids super school in Japan.
well, it's less like a
Do the
school,
X-Man.
more
it's
like
Xavier School for gifted children.
yes, but it's
But
more like
Japanese.
a city.
So,
So
it's-
there are
it's-
like
it's-
different
it's-
levels. There are different schools teaching these things,
Right,
and
okay,
like
so it's
depending on your level of espers determines like what school and stuff
school
you go
get.
to.
So basically, somebody's got Hogwarts, Professor Xavier, other fictional schools, and shoved them in Japan.
Yeah, and they're all say all in one city. To which I think the series said like 80% of the people that live in this city are people that attend school. And before you ask where are all the adults, I don't fucking know.
Wait, are the teachers not
sometimes
adults?
they-
No, they are. It's just most of the teachers, they either teach or they're part of the special, like, policing squad.
That police the school.
Well, I mean, like, kids have got fucking superpowers.
That's
Police, yeah.
fair, yes.
So, some of them are going to at least try
yeah.
some crime.
It's not
Let's
just
dabble
you
in
didn't
some
hand in
crime
your
this
homework
weekend.
on time. 10 to life.
Let's dabble in some Drake this weekend. Do some crime.
I mean, like, it's somewhat serious crime, some of them. There's at least one bank robbery. So,
But it's crime with a purpose.
I think, yeah, I'm sure, like, a pyromancer tried to rob a bank. That was an interesting episode.
All the
Fair
money burns.
Yeah.
Damn, I should have thought this through.
Should have worn gloves.
Should have remembered that paper's flammable.
Anyway, just so, and this story, I say, these series of events follow four schoolgirls.
Of course. Why wouldn't
There's the main protagonist. What's her name? Mikoto Mikasa, who I will just refer to as Mikasa. Mikasa is what's known as, I think they call her an electromancer.
Oh.
So
She
Is
she,
that
controls
somebody
electricity?
who
Yeah.
uses electricity?
yeah, so she She controls electricity and
Electrokinesis, there you go.
yeah.
Mm.
Honestly, I prefer the term electromancer just because.
That's
So she's basically a mobile defibrillator.
Yeah, so she can use electricity and she can electrocute people. She can use it to create magnetic fields and stick to metal things. There's a weird thing she does where she's like doing a fight on the sand at some point, and she just uses all the electricity to make a magnetic field to create a sword made of iron filings in the sand.
Okay, that's
Oh,
cool.
damn. That's really cool.
That's
And her piece de resistance, and why they gave her the nickname the Railgun, is she uses, she can use the magnetic field she creates, and she can fire, coins off just by, flicking her fingers. Flicking them as you
like
do.
a railgun.
Yeah. And
like
it
a
just,
counter-rifle,
because it's accelerated via electronic fields, it just fucking destroys everything.
Out of curiosity, Tom, when did this come out?
The Railgun came out in 2009.
Oh, I wonder what came first. Because that is a very similar thing to... I'm going to reference Brandon Sanderson here in the Mistborn books. Because they've got a whole magic system based around metal. One of the things they do is they fire coins like a railgun. I'm just curious if one inspired the other.
Index, which was the main series, came out earlier, and she was in Index with the same set of powers.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon Sanderson maybe got inspired by that. Then I think Mistborn came out.
Oh, the original
Maybe
manga
that's
for
no
Railgun ran in 2007. So
Damn.
when did Index come out then? I need to. I'm sorry, I'm on my own side tangent. The original run of
Mistborn's
Index came out in 2004.
Yeah.
So, and as I say, she was a main character in that. So
That's just cool. Like two very similar things.
it was like that when I briefly spoke about Serial Experiments Lane, and we said it's kind of like The Matrix that came out a couple of years apart. They were definitely not copying each other because obviously they've got to have been written around the same time. But
there's a lot of scenarios where you just get something at the same time, something else, and it's almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's like Despicable Me and Megamind, which came out.
I nearly
a couple
said
of months
Mega Man
apart.
then. That was a different thing.
And it were basically
Despicable Me and
vastly
Mega Man,
different-
the two.
vastly different movies, but with similar stuff in them.
Yeah.
Although one was miles ahead in terms of quality, and that was
Yes.
Megamind.
That was Megamind. Fantastic movie.
Minions of Pikmin, changed my mind. But yeah, so we have Mikoto Misaka, the Railgun. Now, I should also point out, when you are going to this school, you are graded. You get a level depending on your power level. You go from zero.
God, is it
You go from
like
zero,
you
which is
want
inert. You've got no power, but they think you might have powers, but you've not shown anything. And you go all the way up to level 5, of which there are 7 level 5 users in the world. Mikasa is number 3 at the rank 5s.
Oh, damn.
She's in theory the 3rd most powerful Esper they have.
Damn.
We meet some of the others later in Railgun S, which is the 2nd series. There's one of the girls who can mass control people's minds. That's an interesting maneuver.
That's a powerful power.
It is, but
Bit casual Charles there.
yeah. So Mikasa, as I say, she's obviously she's ranked 3rd, so everyone kind of looks at her and puts her on a pedestal as she's cool as fuck, when in reality she's just really normal. If anything, she's a bit tomboyish, and she just likes fighting people just because. There's a running gag where she keeps encountering the protagonist from Index, who I will talk about in a bit. All you just need to know is that he's not technically an Esper, but he has power.
He's a
Interesting.
fake Esper.
No,
He's just really good at sleight of hand.
It's all illusions. He's Mysterio.
It's all just making you watch one hand
so
while
he's
the other
not-
doing stuff.
they can't determine his power based on science, which is what they determine, what
okay.
determines an Esper. And his
Oh
power,
my god!
and genuinely, yes, he has a thing where he's got the right hand of God or something, and if he touches any Esper, they can't use their powers with his right hand.
Ooh.
But
That's cool
so
as
there's
well.
literally a thing where she's having a fight with him, and he's just stood there holding his right hand out in front of him, and he just can't take damage.
It's like the Haitian in Heroes. I can't remember the character's name. I didn't.
That was his name. I don't think
Was
they
that
ever
just his
actually
character's name?
said his name. He was just
Who
the
just
hate.
like blocked any hero power around him.
Yeah.
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 He could also block
Down to
memories,
that field
couldn't
kind
he?
of thing, yeah.
He specifically has to do this with his right hand
Yeah.
for some reason. It's explained in Index, I think. I don't know. I've only watched 6 episodes. Then, so she just like stands off, but she's a good kid at heart. She sticks up for her friends, and that's what's important. Speaking of her friends, we've got 3 of them. We have Kuroko Shirai. I think I'm pronouncing that surname right. Shirai? I'm going to call her Kuroko, just cause.
That's easy, yeah.
This is the teleporting lesbian.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Right.
Yay!
She's basically Misaka's roommate, and I'm pretty sure they explained that she became her roommate if only because, like, she just wanted to meet her. And she's just like a deranged fan that just ended up living with her. She's just like,
Oh god.
Yeah.
You can't keep her out, she can teleport, so...
Yeah, that's true.
She just teleports into the room.
yeah,
Throw her out, she teleports back in.
and she's
The
a
Barney
member.
version of it.
She's a member of a. I don't want to call them a police force because it's not quite a police force. It's more like a public,
militia?
A
public.
student council?
It's like a public
Paramilitary
service
organisation?
thing, you know, like
A militia.
yeah.
Like they're not an official. They're not
Neighborhood
officially
watch.
trained or.
It's more like the neighborhood watch, less a militia.
Yeah.
She volunteered for one of those, and that is called Judgment, which I know sounds like a fucking police
That does
secret
sound like a
police
militia.
force, and less like a militia. But
Judgment.
yeah, she volunteered for Judgment, and she works for them. I should have explained. Obviously, I told her she's a teleporter. She's a level 4, so she's not quite as OP, but she's got some good fucking
pretty
powers.
OP.
Yeah.
What level is Mika?
She's 5, rank 5.
She was
She's
5.
she's the third
Number
rank
3
5,
Third rank 5.
Yeah,
right.
okay, yeah.
third most powerful. But yeah, she can, because it's like depending on like your level as well, you can do different things. So there are other teleporters, but because she's a rank 4, she can actually teleport herself. Whereas if you were a lower rank, you could only teleport objects.
Oh, okay.
But she definitely does teleport objects as well. There's a great thing where when she goes out, she's got like a belt full of like what are essentially like long metal bars, and she can like teleport those into people's clothes and just pin them to walls.
That was literally I was about to ask. Is it feasible for you
Nice.
to teleport an item into somebody?
Yes, technically. It's dangerous.
So yeah,
And you've gotta be good-
teleporters are just dangerous.
There's a great thing where they're practicing at school, and she's just like, she's within like 5 meters of the thing. She's like, oh, for fuck's sake, my aim's off today. She tries teleporting it again. She just can't quite hit the bullseye. She's like, I need to go home and do something about this. Then we have 2 other friends who technically go to a different school. These are technically espers. There's a level 1 user among them, and I still don't know what her power is. Because I've never actually seen her do anything other than, like, be real good on a computer.
Is that it? then?
Power
Maybe
of
that's
just
her power.
typing.
Yeah,
The power of being proficient with Excel.
yeah. Well, it's like, when
I
they're
know
on, like...
all the Microsoft Office tools.
Because she also works at Judgment, so she's, like, looking through all the security cameras and stuff a lot of the time. And she, like, knows where everything is, and it's just like...
She might just have a really good memory.
Yeah.
I,
She just has.
I don't
super
think they'd
memory.
use that trope again. They do use that for another character. That's in Index. There's a great. I'll get to Index as I say, but yeah. And then the final one is actually a level 0. Uiharu.
Is that
Uiharu.
No, they have. They think
Uehara
they have
is how I
powers,
would
but they
say
haven't
that.
shown
No.
them yet.
Yeah, it's level 0.
The lion-
She's a level 0, so she doesn't even know like if she has power. They think she does, but she doesn't know.
That's fine.
Well, it's not. It's cool that they've got a range of power levels, and they have just decided to go with like 3 level 3s, for example.
Yeah. Oh, it's just great because, like, you need anything doing, it's just Misaka. Like, they try and do it without her, and then she just turns up and just railguns a bitch. Because because as I said, 2 of them work in Judgment, and because Misaka just turns up there just to, like, hang out sometimes, and she hears some of the things going down, and she's just like, okay, I'm gonna head out and deal with this. She's like, no, you can't do this! Leave it to Judgment! She's like, I know what you're saying, but no.
I swear there's a guy in Hunter x Hunter, which is obviously a fairly old manga now, that does actually basically just fire off coins like bullets too. I'm fairly certain, so he does that a lot.
I know it's like a fairly common thing these days, but it's just like they tried to put science behind it, I guess, is what they want to do for most of these things. And
Do they like try and hire her on, and she's like, "No, I'm too cool," or are they like, "No, she's too cool to hire on"?
No, there is actually like one episode where she like tries to do judgment work, and literally she just ends up doing like, as I say, more of what we called the neighborhood watch stuff.
Yeah.
So like giving people directions and stuff, and helping them find their lost items.
Helping
Help, I've
old
lost
ladies
my
across the
bike.
road.
Yeah, and she's just like,
Can't you just ask the guy with like object sensing powers or some bullshit?
I mean, he probably exists, but I think he's out there doing crime.
Yeah.
I'm just a really good thief because I'm like, oh, there's a ruby over there. Just, like, to be fair, that's not a bad chance.
Pretty good power.
It's like you could be a good student, or you could do crime.
You would be great at those
Not even
carnival games where you have to guess how many sweets are in the jar.
Yeah, that's true.
But you could only sense the one sweet.
There's 106 sweets over there.
I know someone who tried to do that like based on maths once. Like they looked at the bottom of the jar and like counted like how many were like in like the radius of the jar, and then tried to do like pi r squared and all that bollocks.
It's not going to work because they're not a flat level.
Yeah, that's what we told him, which is why it was only a guesstimate. But you know what I
Did he
mean.
win?
I think he did actually, which is the annoying thing.
That won't work.
He
Aha!
was
It
the
did.
one that was closest, annoyingly. So
It's not the worst method. It's just not an accurate one. But,
Yeah.
you could just be
Anyway.
beaten by someone that's lucky, which is the way of life. But yeah, so but most of the time it's just them doing like either doing like just slice of life kind of shit, or them doing
it's
judgment
fine.
things, which is when like who made this? What studio made this? I need to open up all my tabs again because technical difficulties forced me to restart my PC. I don't know if it's like its own studio doing its thing. Oh no, wait, that's who did that. Who made... JC Staff are the company that made this. For the record, they made all TV series, so I guess that's technically what I'm looking for. Index, Railgun. That's a good omen when I look at what else they've made. Is it wrong to pick up Girls in a Dungeon?
Oh God, your favorite.
I will talk about that at some point because the first season's actually pretty good. I'm not entirely sure on the second ones. They made the second season of Food Wars.
Oh,
Is that the one where the food's so good people's clothes fly off?
Yep. Planet Weird, which is a great series. Angels of Death.
whenever they say like, "Hey, would you ever like to try food in a particular TV show or movie or anime?" I think that sounds pretty good. Like, if it's good enough to make literally my clothes fly off my body, it's going to be damn
Okay,
tasty.
I think these were the publishing staff. I don't know if they made them because JC Staff are the people that made the second season of One Punch Man. So take that as you will.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it, so.
I mean,
I think people just don't like the animation.
it wasn't bad. It just wasn't up to the standard of the first series. But that's a topic for another day. They still do good action because they do great action in this. Like, with all the electricity and the shit that she does and all the other powers that are on display. Like, not even from the main
Yep.
cast, from half of the people that they fight as well. Because obviously you can't just make it a complete slice of life show with stupid people having stupid bullshit powers.
Yes.
So I know like one of them that they were trying to like, that one was less of a fight and more like a what's going on kind of thing, where there was one girl who has like, I shouldn't call it invisibility, but because it was like at lower levels, it's more like you can use your powers to sort of like just make yourself like reduce your
Chameleon.
presence.
Like a
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Damn it! It's one of my ideas from a book already.
So it's like a
Fine.
bit like I was going to say chameleon skin, but it's more like the.
It's
This
more
is
like
gonna be a
improving
weird
your ability to blend into a crowd kind
Yes,
of
it's
deal.
going to be a Doctor
Yeah.
Who reference.
You
But
have
the
the powers
keys
of
in that,
Anonymous.
that one Doctor Who episode, which made you
Yeah.
be the circuit. That's
But-
Season 3 finale.
At lower levels, that's how it works. At higher levels, you can just flat out make yourself invisible. But
That's fair.
so, and there's like trying to work out whatever the hell she's doing because she's been assaulting people in bathrooms with a marker pen.
What?
She's been knocking them out and drawing on them.
That is an
Alright.
interesting.
What, is she knocking them out with the marker pen as well?
I don't
How
know.
big is this marker pen?
Those marker pens can have some
It's a
strong.
novelty-sized marker.
Those
pen.
marker pens can have some strong fumes, boys. That's all I'm saying. Just
The last thing I smelled was a Sharpie, and then I woke up with this mustache.
Well, all they have to do is open the pen lid because that level of Sharpie will just knock you out from the smell. It's chloroforming people with a Sharpie.
Still better villain motivation than Drake.
yeah.
Anybody's villain's better motivation than Drake. So angry at Drake, I couldn't even get a proper
Drake
sentence
doesn't
out.
have a motivation.
That's why we're angry, Tom.
No.
But yeah, that's like one of the more like dumb ones. There is a somewhat serious one who is going around actually targeting Judgment members, and like by actually like, well, I say borderline. It is terrorism. I'm not gonna mince words. He's like causing explosions in stores and shit.
Yeah, if you're causing
that's a
deliberate
bit-
chaos in society to try and scare
And so,
people, it's
so
terrorism.
the way his
Yeah,
power
Drake.
works is
You're
they just
making terror.
Drake wishes
yeah.
he could be a terrorist.
actually just blowing up the things where Judgment are trying to investigate.
Yeah.
So the way his power works, they describe it is he can control gravitons, which if you all don't know anything about physics, gravitons are basically the gravity particles, or
Oh
what
my
we,
god, is
what
he
we
fucking
think.
combustion, man?
He, for
No,
some reason,
it's-
he can like make things implode and explode, but he can only do it with things made of aluminium.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
like
very-
empty aluminium cans, he can like make them implode and make a massive fucking explosion
that's
kind of
bad.
thing.
He goes to an airport and then just fucking plays
Yeah.
Well,
Sits
well, I
on a
mean,
nuke.
it's like he's I'm gonna get into that because that's like the main overarching plot. But he at lower levels, like it's not that bad. But when your power is gone up to like level 4-ish, which is what his power has been in air quotes boosted to, you can actually cause serious explosions. Normally, you could just like crush cans.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fucking what?
So it's like normally you're a shit, you're a yeller.
Yeah, but at higher levels, you're a full blown terrorist.
There's no in between or middle ground.
No.
Nope.
Yuri Geller's a terrorist.
Well,
That's not a statement I ever thought I'd say.
But yeah,
Alright.
I mentioned an overarching plot. So there has been reported cases to Judgment, where people have been using something known as a level upper. I'll give you 3
it a
guesses
drug?
as to what that does.
It levels you up.
It
for a
does.
bit-
You to the
temporary
next level of
time.
Mario.
It does.
Yeah, it's like a mushroom in Mario.
It does.
Is it a temporary level up that you get addicted to and have to have more of because it's a drug?
Well, I mean, it's not technically a drug, but it does put you into a coma.
Do you have
Oh,
to
good for
eat other espers?
Say again, Matt.
Do you have to eat other espers?
No, this isn't Tokyo Ghoul.
I was actually thinking Silent from Heroes.
Huh.
This is not. There's no cannibalism in this show.
Damn it.
And you've lost me.
Look, Tokyo Ghoul had one good series,
I don't know.
but
So
so
it's a
as I say,
temporary
they
level up
keep
thing, but
they keep encountering these people who have been using the level upper, and obviously, like they just kind of go a bit power mad and start doing like the girl that was like knocking people out with the Sharpie. She'd used a level upper. I think she was like started off as like a level 1, and they put her up to like a level 3 or a 4.
they
But
gave
then
her the
obviously-
money to buy a bigger Sharpie.
I want to see a level 5 taking one of those and see what happens.
On the level
Oh,
upper.
God.
Is it a battleship
Hey
size?
guys, we're gonna have to invent a
Sharpie.
new level.
I'm not gonna say that's the overarching plot for like the whole series, but I believe like the ultimate goal of the ultimate bad guy at the end is to try and create what they call a level 6, which there is not
Right.
one in existence, but they are
Yeah.
looking for a way to become.
What happens if you give a level up to a
Yeah.
level 5?
What
Give
happened?
whoever's the highest.
Or can they
ranking
just
one of these
create a
things.
level 6? Because it's some crazy scientist lady. But that's again by the by. I'm jumping ahead of myself. But you had to get to the fetus demon first.
Oh my god.
It's weird. You get to like you go like 10 episodes and it's just like, yeah, this is thingy, and then you get to like episode 12 and it's like, why is there a ghostly fetus demon? What the fuck did this show become?
Witcher, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all these people have been using the level upper, and like they've been putting into a coma, and Judgment are just basically just running around working with the Secret Service have a name, but I can't remember what they're called. There's like an actual like police branch that are also like above Judgment, I think. I don't know. The police hierarchy in the show is weird. They employ 14-year-olds. That's how old the cast are.
Yeah.
That's how old the main cast are. They're like,
They've got to fill their protagonist quota.
yeah.
14-year-olds from Japanese schools are the target
Oh,
for
by
that.
the way, the look of these characters, is it like, can you tell a protagonist from a mile away? Is it that one of those shows, or is it?
They
Are
don't
they just
actually.
like regularly normal, fairly normal looking?
They
people?
look fairly normal. If I can get a cast of the the index cast. Let me look for Railgun. Let me get some
Just gets
images.
pictures of railguns.
Ah, yeah.
I
Pull
mean,
the sneaky on you.
let me just copy that image into the Discord. So that is the promotional picture they use for Railgun T, which is the 3rd series. And our main protagonist is the girl on the left.
Okay.
The one on the right is the one which I said had the mass mind control powers, but
Gotcha.
I
she's
feel
not.
uncomfortable with 14-year-olds in shorts like that. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop looking.
Yep,
Yeah.
let's scroll up so we can just look at other stuff in the.
They make a point out of that, because you know when I said Mikasa's kind of tomboyish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How all the other girls
Yeah.
wear skirts? Well, she also wears a skirt, but she kind of like wears shorts underneath because she doesn't feel comfortable wearing
That's fair.
underwear
I don't blame her.
There. Especially if you're in an anime.
with a teleporting lesbian best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, suddenly you really, really want to like make sure you're as private as possible, because she will end up in the shower with you. That's all I'm thinking. That's gonna be bad.
She's not afraid to punch her best friend as well. Like there are times where she tries and she just fucking like either electrocutes her or just decks her in the face.
Yeah.
She's like,
Oh, that's
stop
gonna
trying
be
to
bad
see me in the shower, for fuck's sake, I'm not interested.
I will shoot you with the plug.
Why is the plug metal? What shower are you using?
Some plug to metal.
The danger shower.
The danger shower.
The chain
Step
at
into
least.
my danger shower.
But yeah, so as I
Highway
was
to the danger shower.
shocking, I know.
Some stairs.
So
What? It's the voice.
Yeah.
you went a bit Little Britain, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I do sometimes. It's fine.
But yeah, so as I say, the main thing is like them trying to find this level upper. Now, one of them finds the level upper, or like a version of it.
Do they?
Right.
Is it the person with 0 powers?
How did you guess?
Yeah.
Did they
I
die,
actually know.
Tom?
No, they do get put in the coma though.
Okay.
She's shown to have like
Oh.
some. She's shown to have like some.
Power of the coma.
It puts her to up like level 2 or 3, and she's shown to have like mild like wind controlling powers, but I don't know if it becomes anything or whether she actually gets to use them normally. She was put in a coma beforehand, and then obviously her best friend, who's the level 1, just kind of feels bad because she didn't know about the whole thing. Because there's this weird thing where most of them also don't like Judgment and the higher up espers because of the power divide it creates.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
legitimate class system. That's the thing.
Yeah.
One that you're born into and cannot affect. Great.
Mikasa was born at level 1. Like, she's actually one of these that was like, she was born like with very little power. She's actually worked her way up.
So you can work better.
Yeah, you just have to work on training your powers and getting better
Oh,
with them.
okay.
Which
That's
is like
less
the
bad
whole
then.
point of the school art part.
That's fine.
You send them to the school part where they train their psychic powers.
Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense at least.
I'm glad something does.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to get a bit fucking weird with y'all. So, you know, this level up,
Yeah, you mentioned something about a fetus demon.
we're working on it.
Some sort of Beelzebub baby.
Yeah.
Beelzebub.
So as I was saying, there was the level upper. It turns out it's a song that you can listen to, and listening to it, it's one of these what they call like, it's like an extra sensory where like you listen to it stimulates all of your senses at once, and apparently that helps stimulate your
It's
the use of your
superpowered
powers.
ASMR.
kind of. It like as I say, it's just like listening to the thing and it stimulates all your senses.
Right.
I like the idea of the song going, oh, that's
Do
my
we
fucking jam.
ever get to hear the song in the show?
No, sadly not. I don't think
it-
we do anyway. I don't
wanna
remember it.
level
I don't.
you up, Tom.
I don't feel any powerful, and I haven't slipped into any comas recently. So
I mean, I did sleep through all of yesterday, so yeah, probably. I did.
were you watching Railgun, John?
Not that I know of.
So yeah, as they've been doing this, and obviously it, like, affects all your sensory things. What it's also been doing after they've been like all these kids or whatever have gone to the hospital and they've been analyzed is they've determined that it sort of rearranges your brain waves, and it sort of like
Doesn't sound great.
it kind of like aligns them up to like so they all have like the same brainwave pattern.
Right, okay.
What this has been doing is they've been creating like one of the bad guy for the first 12 episodes, because it's a 24 episode season and there's like two arcs technically.
Yeah.
Even though the second arc's a continuation of the first. But the first main bad guy, she's been like trying to set up this like neural network of
Okay.
like
Basically
all
the
these different espers. They describe it as like using the internet with like different computers and stuff, and now you connect them all. And they've been connecting people's brains to each other to form this
Bitcoin
neural
mining
network for
people.
something.
Oh,
I don't
God.
trust like that.
Yeah.
Bitcoin brain mining.
Oh
Yep.
god. I mean, that's not what she was doing, but she probably
That's
could
the
have.
future.
That's the next season. No. I don't actually know. I'm not that far into season S. But yeah.
Alright.
She's been working on this like neural network, and there's like a good decent like flashback thing, is because she obviously has the showdown with Mikasa, and because she created the neural network, she can technically access anyone's powers that are on the network. So she's just got like different powers. She only uses a few in the fight, which she just still gets bitch slapped by the power of a level 5 because
Yeah.
yeah.
She's pulling on the powers of essentially level 2s and 1s.
3s
Yeah.
and 1s.
Anyway, the network goes a bit haywire, and that's what creates the fetus baby. The fetus
Naturally.
demon baby.
Of course, it's the only logical outcome.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's like the collection of, because obviously the people that are using the level up are like the shitty levels,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like 2 downwards, and so like as they're fighting it, they keep hearing like it's brainwaves or whatever of people being like, people just feeling inadequate and wishing they just
Oh,
could be
no.
better, and they thought that just the level upper would help, and it's just kind of depressing, but at the same time,
Stop it, Tom. You're making me feel things.
But on the second time, it's walking towards the nearby nuke reactor. So we just need to stop the fetus demon baby.
Stop the fetus demon, baby!
Objective 1, stop the fetus demon baby.
Step
Objective
2,
2, get lunch.
it's literally what happens. I'm sure they go for crepes afterwards. I don't even know.
Just like the Swarmer scene.
But yeah, as I say, they have a whole thing. The level 1 girl who didn't use the level upper, she like is given, because I don't understand the motives behind. Well, I do understand the motives behind the scientist lady who's trying to create this neural network. I just don't want to get into it because it's somewhat spoilery, and it's also great because at the end of the full first season, she has a great redeeming arc, even though she creates a giant fetus demon baby.
Again?
No,
Wait.
that's the
okay.
first one.
Right, gotcha. Yep.
It feeds into the part where they're trying to make a level 6, but it's a different
Gotcha.
crazy scientist
Yeah.
lady. But yeah, so there's while she's done like this neural network thing, but she's also she's also like created the cure for it as well, which is just like another song she gives to the other one and the USB drive. It's like, look
that's
after that,
useful.
because that'll wake everyone else up. I'm gonna try this, and if it doesn't work, there's your backup.
That's less of a mad scientist. That's more of at least hey, I've actually got a plan for what happens if this goes
Just
wrong.
in case I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Here's
She's
the
like,
backup.
she's working towards her goals, and she's like, look, I'm gonna try and just I am working towards this, whether people want to stop, whether you're gonna stop me or not. I will achieve what she wants. Which once you work that out, and that they have a whole flashback episode where it's just like her going through her life, and it's just like why she's now like this. Also unrelated, but she is known for taking her clothes off in public.
Okay.
Okay.
That's how they introduce her. There's like, yeah, they're talking about urban legends. Is like, yeah, there's this one woman that just likes to go around taking her clothes off, and then Mikasa's just like walking around, and she sees this like, and she like bumps into someone, and she spills something on her. She's like, oh god, I'm sorry, and then she just starts taking her shirt off. She's like, it's fine, it'll wash out. It's like, stop undressing in public, please. I feel all kinds of wrong about this.
How old is this character again?
Mikasa's 14. The scientist lady. Give me a minute. I don't know because I go to
17.
I go to the list of Railgun characters, and it's actually fucking massive.
Oh dear.
Uh,
Well, she's employed as a scientist, so she's probably older, right?
she was a teacher at some point as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
She's probably in her 30s or 40s.
So safe
30s,
range,
40s. She's also got those permanent like purple bags under her eyes.
Yeah.
So she's just, I don't know whether she's just sick of this shit or what, but
Doesn't sleep because she's too busy neuraling.
she's too busy doing sciences. No,
What were you doing last night? You know, science.
Sciences.
The science.
Oh, he's been on the science again.
Now, have you been doing science again?
No. Test tube falls out pocket.
Mainly chemistry.
Oh shit.
I found copper and iron shavings in his room.
I shouldn't be scrolling through this because these are definitely spoilers. I'm just looking at some of the lists and I'm like, why are there 5 Mikasas? That definitely implies some cloning down the line, and I'm not okay with that.
So tropey.
But I thought it wasn't her. I thought it was
Some
someone
fucking
else.
clones,
I thought it was the
right?
weird lolly teacher they cloned.
Oh fucking hell.
Oh no.
One of these girls who's about 5'3", but in her
What a
30s
pain
and
in
heavily
Tom's
drinks and
face.
smokes. It's weird as fuck to look at. And it just makes me feel all kinds of unnerved. Also,
I mean, just because she's short doesn't mean anything bad, but I know what you mean.
no, she looks like a child, but she's like in her
exactly.
mid-30s and she's a heavy drinker and smoker.
Yeah.
And it's just, why did we do this? Who the fuck cares?
We're trying to drink and smoke just to look a bit older. To be fair, just age
It's
me.
really gone wrong.
Age me.
But yeah, so she has her own motivations. They do eventually stop her in the fetus demon, thanks to what's her face, who plays the song to wake everyone else up and destroy the neural network.
Does
And
that destroy the fetus demon by proxy?
well, it stops the fetus demon from regenerating.
Oh.
So Railgun can just railgun it. She just flicks coins at it and it just dies after that. Because before she was like electrocuting it and it was growing back and growing bigger.
Good thing I'm
Oh,
rich.
that's not good.
Yeah. And then, as I say, there's a whole nother thing where there's like going more into the weird scientist lady's backstory and being like, there's this other group of people who are trying to create a level 6, which is like the superpower level 1 that no one's ever seen before.
Yeah.
God.
We've successfully created Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Look, if you see the state of who's the number 1 rank 5, you probably won't believe that. He walks around on crutches.
Yeah, fair.
Accelerator is cool as fuck, but at the same time, he's a cripple. So,
What does he do?
well, his name's
I'm guessing by
Accelerator.
his name, he goes fast.
Does
Does
he
he just go real
does he go
quick on
fast?
crutches? Because
I don't actually know.
How
Yeah.
terrifying would that be? Just hearing somebody approach quickly on
like a
crutches.
crutch windmill. Just
Crutch
like,
windmill.
like, ah.
Oh my god, it's Panjandrum.
Oh dear.
All I keep seeing is the word accelerator. It's not telling me what he fucking does. Come
I'm
on.
assuming he goes
I'm
fast.
assuming he goes fast.
It just makes everyone else go
Or,
fast.
or does he accelerate the lifespan of somebody? By
Does-
which I think I mean reduce it substantially by accelerating their aging.
His ability allows him to control any vector he touches, including motion, heat, electricity, and the wind.
Oh.
This allows him to perform various feats such as reflecting bullets, launching heavy objects, and even reversing the flow of blood in people's bodies.
Yeah, no,
Jesus
that is you
Christ.
can literally anything with
He's
any
a
kind of
fucking
motion you
bender.
can change. That is a real problem.
Oh,
Um,
is that why
That is
he's a
probably the most
cripple?
overpowered skill in the world. Yeah.
He probably crippled himself.
Since his natural
That's reverse
ability
my
blocks
blood.
all ultraviolet radiation, which means he's not getting any vitamin D.
No.
Or maybe that's it. Maybe he just has rickets.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
He's just got vitamin deficiencies.
You know there are tablets for that, right?
They do not work.
Also, because he's the number one, he's like the one they do all the experiments on to actually try and get to level 6. Because he's the closest to level 6 they can get. He's the bullshit OP one. And he still manages to somehow go toe-to-toe with the fucking Index Pro tag. Which is just the magic right hand. Yeah. Anyway.
Hand reaches out and actually just reaches back because you reverse the vector of it. Like,
at that point, it just stops. It just stops the vector, is what it would do. Because there's when I mentioned the guy creating the explosion ones, he also just is there when they're helping, and he sees like the explosion is literally about to go off in front of Mikasa. So he just like runs in with his right hand, and like the blast literally goes like in a cone around them.
Nice.
So it's just like she has a go at him for that. It's always like, what the fuck was that? Oh, don't worry about it. No, seriously, what the fuck is that though?
This is my hand.
Everyone thinks I did that. Why are you not taking credit for it? I just don't want to be a hero.
Look, I'm heading out.
Yeah, that's literally it. It's like,
Passing approval, right?
that's literally it. He's like, okay, I'm heading out. Bye, Sparky. He just call. I think does he call us Sparky in the anime, or he keeps calling it different things? Because I think they call her Sparky in the dub, but he definitely gives her a pet name. I can't remember what it is.
Flashy Cashy, I don't know.
Because there's a moment where like those two and another character, and he just like walks off and leaves the other two, and she's like, "Don't leave her with me." And then the other one's like, "Why are you acting tsundere for him?" She's like, "I am not a tsundere." It's like, no, you are though. That's what the kids call it, right? Being tsundere, and then she just electrocutes the other one.
That's just made me think of like a weird version of the
down with the kids. Am I right?
of, like the Richard Nixon "I am not a crook" speech, but like I'm not a tsundere.
Richard Nixon, I am not a tsundere. Yeah, they also have like her and him just have fights, and the last one they have, it literally just like she tries to get up close to him just to electrocute him, and then he just like holds her hand. And she gets flustered and stops attacking, A, because he holds it with his right hand, and B, just because she's like, what the fuck is this? Why are you... What is this weird hand-holding thing? Which if you walk in anime circles, you will know hand-holding is the lewdest thing you can do without going into hentai territory.
Yeah, no, it's just unsolicited hand-holding.
Yeah.
Slash is basically what the memes is, which
Next
is
thing you know, they'll be showing their ankles off.
Go to horny
magazines
jail.
on the top shelves.
You go to horny jail.
Yeah, that was Railgun. I would honestly recommend Railgun. I've been told Series S is the best arc in the whole series, which is the second series of Railgun, which I'm working my way towards. However, before I get there, I will need to take a brief dip into Index. And by brief, I mean I need to watch 6 episodes of Index before going back into the damn series.
That doesn't sound
It
like
literally
much.
just like sets up like, oh, by the way, there's magic in here as well. For the scrubs that can't actually use science powers, there is magic.
Okay.
Because it's science we don't understand.
Yeah, well, obviously there's the guy with the magic right hand, who we don't actually know how it works. And then he meets a girl called Index.
Who's the pro tag of Index, I'm assuming?
Well, technically he is, but she follows him around. Index is basically,
She's like the Watson to his Sherlock.
yeah.
Ah.
Index is basically a prophet from the Church of England.
Why?
Right.
That is so weirdly specific.
And she has locked in her head 103,000 grimoires.
Okay.
Because
Oh.
Index is actually the one with the super memory powers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Ah.
hence the name.
Yeah. So obviously, like, but the church have like made it like a thing where like if they have to delete her memories once every year, or like she will.
Because she's too full of RAM.
Yeah, that's basically
Yeah.
that's the comparison they can give. And there's like basically these 6 episodes is like him having an exchange with a couple magic users, one of which is a pyromancer, and I think the other one puts you in a pocket dimension. I don't fucking know.
Who knows?
She pulls him into a different dimension. They just have a sword fight. But she can also fire sword beams, so I don't actually know what.
Sword beams.
But the other two are just trying to get Index and erase her memories. And then, like, he thinks about it for a while, and then he just is like, wait a minute. People don't die from having too many memories.
In one of those situations where you just pause and think and wait.
Well, actually, what he does is like he's ringing around, just being like, "I can fix this with science. I'm sure we don't have to just erase all our memories." And the others are like, "Okay, we'll give you until midnight, and if you're not done by then, we're coming and we're taking Index and deleting her memories." So he's like ringing around all the hospitals and stuff, but no one's answering because it's like the middle of the night. And out of curiosity, he just rings one of his teachers at the science schools, and he's just like, "Yo, so can you like? I know this girl who has like this super memory ability or whatever it is. Roughly how many memories can a human store?" And she just thinks about it, and she's like, about 150 years worth."
Jesus.
And he's like, "Wait, so you can't just die? You can't die from this?" She's like, "Oh no, it's just like everything's there, but it's not like life threatening." And then he's just like, "Well, what the fuck are these guys on about then?" And so he looks, and then and then it turns out like she's just been cursed by the Church of England because she's got 103,000 grimoires stored in her head. Now I don't know if you know much about grimoires. They're kind of dangerous.
Magical bullshit.
They sound-
Yeah, like
Yeah.
evil dark magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got, and so what they do in order to stop her from, like, rebelling against the church, I guess, is they put, like, a curse on her, where if her memories aren't cleared every 100 years, the curse just kills her.
Every 100.
Every 100 years.
Every 100 years, every year. That's me being
how
dumb.
old is...
Okay.
Inde- Index, how old is Index? She looks about 13, but I don't feel confident in giving that as an answer. Because I know the pro tag, whose name is Toma, I think. I
Okay,
think,
question.
yes.
Why does she have that amount of... First of all, why does she have that number of grimoires in her head?
I don't know, the Church
Is that
of England
just
needed
because-
to store them somewhere.
So they... And then the Church of England decided
It's
to
like the
curse her
Church of
anyway.
England
Why?
literally was just like, we need to put these somewhere. Into this
Why
one
are
girl's
the Church
head.
of England... you know...
I don't know, as I said,
antagonists?
I had to take 6-episode break to go into this, Matt. I've watched 6 episodes and I'm as confused as you. And then we just gloss over this and then we have to go and hunt vampires in the next series, so...
I feel like they just were like, what institution can we use? And they just picked it out of a hat and they got the Church of England.
Well, I mean, on like, as I told you, of this list of characters, like, there's a list of characters for the Church of England, and then underneath there are ones for the Vatican City, Russia, for the Orthodox Church.
Oh, fucking hell.
Well, you went high then.
Why is the Norse faction in here? What the fuck is this?
Some sort of major church conspiracy going on here.
Why do the Vikings want this? Also,
Oh my
Vatican
God.
City also has the Roman Orthodox Church and the right seat of gods.
Fucking
Oh, the right
hell.
hand of God, yeah. I know. Gabriel.
I don't know what's going on Index yet, but I can't wait to find out after reading that. I want to know what the Orthodox Church have to do with this. But as I say,
so high pitched when you said the Russian Orthodox.
Russia! Because the Russians, of course the Russians are involved. Also, that's me nursing a sore throat.
That's fair. I'd be doing well with it. Okay.
But yeah, on a scale of sausage octopus out of pork knuckle, first
Oh, no,
season
no,
of
no.
it, first season.
It's how many sausage octopi, then we see if they get the pork knuckle.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
how we do it.
well, they get like a good 7.5 for the first season of Railgun. And I'm giving it a knuckle because Railgun S is meant to be the best arc of the thing. So, this is my this
A
is
preemptive knuckle.
Oh, preemptive knuckling.
which, to be fair, as I said, they introduced the mass mind control girl, and she just seems to be a bit of a bitch. So
I mean, you would be if those were your powers.
well, it's like she's, you know, when Tom describes what's her face as having a popular clique.
Yes.
Amy.
She's that kind of girl.
Which one's this?
The mass mind
Does Amy
control
have a
girl.
popular clique? Because it
Oh.
seems like she has no friends.
We never see them. But
Well, no, she has a clique. That's what the mind control's for.
Yeah, literally, that's what it is. Everyone's like her best friend, and mostly it's because of the mind control bollocks. Because there's a scene early on in like the second season where like they're in the library and she's just like, "Oh, it's you," to like the railgun one, and she's just like, "What, you want to fight?" And then there's just a weird moment where she's stood, and then everyone else in the library turns and looks at her, and just is like, "Look, you may be able to beat me 1-on-1 on a fight, but I can control all of these people that come and fight for me. So,
True, but if you kill her, then that's it done. Just
but it's
ding, and there goes
it's
your
what you were
cerebral
saying.
cortex.
It's what you were saying when you were playing Total War. Those are basically like throwing skeletons at the mix and just being like,
Yeah.
fight for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck off now. Oh yeah, and Accelerator's in that second series, and I can't wait to see what they actually do with him because he sounds OP as shit.
That was a book character I was going to do.
He
where
got his
he
own
just
series.
all
There's a
forms
certain
of
scientific
energy.
accelerator,
Right,
which is
bullshit.
another spin-off series where he got his own series. So that's the reason. That's the main reason I wanted to get into this because I watched one episode of Accelerator when it aired, and I'm like, this seems like a great series, but I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Am I
Oh,
meant
God,
to
you
know
come back
who
and
these
watch it for
people
the
are?
lore.
Who is the weird small girl that appears to be multiple of? I don't what.
Why are there so
Why-
many?
why-
Why are they so tiny?
Why is Index just not Index? Why is Accelerator just cool with jumping off a building and being fine? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know what's going on.
And then he just walks into like a fucking standoff where like the police are just like cutting outside and there's guys with guns inside and he just like walks in on his crutches and then they just try and shoot him and he's just like no, just stops the bullets and be like, I don't think so, and just turns them back the other way. But yeah, this series is like dumb but in the fun way.
Yeah.
Is the best way to
Yeah.
describe it.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to actually sit and watch more of this.
Okay then.
7.5 with a preemptive. I'm waiting for Railgun S.
I thought you said preemptive strike for a second.
With a preemptive. Anyway, it'll probably be a while before I dip back into Railgun with Season S, so there will be like another anime or two before I come back to this. This is my long-term project. Because
Not
I'm not
even
allowed to
long.
talk about High School DxD.
Yeah.
Talk about High School of the Dead. No.
They're as bad as each other.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No. That's cool.
Yeah,
Right.
did
Well,
sound like a cool anime.
It's
Is it similar
season-
in tone to Hero Academia?
Sort of. It just,
probably. I mean,
unlike
the concept of
Academia,
it,
I
isn't
actually
it?
gave a
Yeah.
shit after more than one season. Not to shit on My Hero Acca, but like, halfway through season 3, I just realized I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I just kind of stopped caring about what was happening.
Huh. Alright.
I don't
Yeah, I still
know.
like it.
I'm still
Whatever.
invested.
You're a manga reader. You're allowed to be. If you start reading a manga for a series, you've committed to that in the long haul.
Yeah.
Whereas with an anime,
same with-
it's like you can watch a season and it's like a coin flip whether you'll get a second one.
The ones I've read manga are bloody JoJo, Attack on Titan, Terraformers, which is a weird one, and Berserk, because I like to suffer.
I can see the overlap on that Venn diagram. I know exactly what. I feel like I can pinpoint your niche.
extreme
What
pain
pain?
and dog death.
Anyway. Right.
This is the part where we plug.
Yeah.
Plug away, gentlemen.
Should we plug the podcast first before we plug ourselves?
Oh,
Yes.
go on then.
Yep. Yeah. Obviously, Fact versus Fiction can be found now on Spotify, iTunes/Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. I believe that's the only three we've got currently.
I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to be spreading it anywhere else. There is also a Twitter for it, which will be live,
There is a Twitter.
live and active well before this one goes out.
Which are we going to start putting pictures from the episode up on the Twitter?
We might throw a
so
couple
people-
of pictures.
Yeah.
So people who like listen to on Spotify or iTunes can actually get what we're talking about, so they get the same advantage as the YouTube crowd.
We can
Yeah.
certainly do that for the fact weeks. Don't know what we'll do for the fiction weeks.
I might just leave Crunchyroll links. I don't know. I was also going to say, if
God.
people wanted to watch this, if you have a VPN, all 3 seasons are on Crunchyroll. If you're American, it's also on Crunchyroll. People in the UK, I believe you have to watch season 1 and 2 of Railgun and any of Index on Funimation. Which,
And, yeah.
you can tell I lost all enthusiasm for that sentence the moment I had to say it's on Funimation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you
Their video player is terrible.
if you want to find us on Twitter, it is at F versus F official. Those
Yeah.
Fs being capital Fs.
Yeah.
Just like the
fuck.
ones at the start of fuck.
Yeah.
Now that's a capital F.
Speaking of capital Fs, you can find me at... You can find me on YouTube. There's a link on... There will be an end card on the end of the video, and there will be a link in the description. But if you just search for Gaius Nix, you will find me. You will also find me with at Gaius Nix on Twitter. That's Guias, I should specify because I can't spell. And you will find me also on Twitch with Gaius Nix, but there is an underscore between the two where, I'm not going to lie, I think I'm more active on Twitch these days than I am anywhere else, so... Gotta play that Dark Souls! I beat Quailag last night!
They're there! They found you, they said you would!
I beat the spider waifu Quailag last night, that was a thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I thought I was going to get banned on Twitch because they just showed her top up, naked from the top up, and I was just like,
Naked.
can I show this?
She was naked from the top up.
Naked.
I mean, you know what I mean, like the
know what you
cinematic where it like shows the bottom half being spider and then it pans
Yeah.
up to her top half, and I'm like,
And it's
you're
only
just showing me
because of
titty right
very
now.
long hair.
You are literally just showing me titty right now.
That's all right, Tom. No nipples were on show.
That is true.
So somehow the people playing CK3 with the bloody nudity religion somehow haven't got banned yet. So anyway,
Tom,
And if you want to,
where can we find you?
other than
you can
You're
find
lost,
me-
and I want to find you.
you can find me in the middle of the maze, and I'll give you a prize.
Is that corn maze or maze maze?
It's a maze
whichever.
of maze in a corn maze.
It's amazing. You can find me on YouTube, Tom H. Jordan. Where I upload occasionally, just whatever I want to. No real consistency in my channel content. And you can also follow me on Twitter at randomjot. I'm being a bit more active on Twitter these days.
The memes are strong.
Oh god, I got hiccups. John,
you can
save
find
us.
Matt if you follow that.
Follow the sound of my hiccups.
Hiccups in
John,
the night.
do you want to take us out as you usually do? With, well, I don't remember how we end
A
these.
sniper rifle.
You never remember how we end this. We end these as
With
always for
questions.
Fiction Week with the guess whether a proverb is a true one or not.
I
That's
got
fun.
one right
That's not-
last time.
You did. That's probably no, you didn't.
Yes, I
Retconning
did.
that.
Yeah, he did.
Retconning. No, he didn't. I'm denying you of this.
You're retconning that I got one right. This isn't Munchkin, John. I'm allowed to get these right.
No.
No. Anyway, my proverb for today is well, try and figure out if I made this up or whether it's real or not. Do good and then throw it in the sea. Tick tock, tick.
Oh,
I legit want that to be real.
Fake. I'm saying that's a fictional proverb.
That
Matthew?
is time, gentlemen.
wait, you wait to see what I say.
Well, we've got a real and a fake, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say real.
Oh, well, I'm not getting a point, am I?
I will say, I think Matt's brought the curse. It is actually real.
Yeah.
I think because he started with Tom that one time. Tom's got it now. Anyway.
Oh no.
I passed the curse on.
Burden's been passed.
Yeah, it's an Arab proverb that basically means do good and don't expect anything in return. Just do good for itself.
Ah, that's cool.
But just do good and then throw it in the sea. It feels like, but father, no.
That's great.
I made a wonderful batch of cakes.
Great,
Throws it in the
great
sea.
image of that, like, Toy Story meme was like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
Uh,
Good night.
bye.